very strange. It feels very strange to be back. The positive is that I know, and I can hear Derek, I mucked up this week with the children. Billy is in year 6 and they'd organised a Leavers hoodie. I know it's a tiny thing in the space of thing with all their names on. And they'd sent an email and I'd missed it. So everyone got one and he didn't get it. And he was really upset and I was really upset. Fortunately, one of the mums, an over-organised mother, had ordered 2. So he has now got one. But that moment of opening it in the class was terrible. And I just thought, come on, Garraway. You know, Derek would be incensed with me. You know, this is your priority. You've got to get on. You've got to get back into things. You've got to cope. You've got to read your emails. You've got to get on and you've got to come back. And I know that everybody that's been so sweet to say that this morning and watching from home, they're dealing with stuff. And the problem with this pandemic, it's lives, it's livelihoods, it's fear, it's anxiety. And I just feel like I have got to get on and do the things that I'm supposed to be good at.
So you are... Come on, let's put...
I'm going to come back.
You're going to
come back? I'm afraid. I'm going to come back.
Next week.
If that's okay.
Just a one-off, is it?
I'm going to come back on Monday, if you'll have me.
Yes.
You two are going. I'm coming back. I'm not sure I've got quite the fight to be a Piers Morgan, but...
Are you
I'm going to be with Ben Shephard. Yeah. So we're going to be back on Monday because you're going off. And
this is Good Morning Britain with Kate Garraway.
Yes.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Kate, I know you've been wrestling with whether to do that because you just feel like, you know, can I work? I mean, I think obviously you'll be brilliant, but it's been a dilemma.
I wasn't brilliant before, Piers. I think some changed that.
Rephrase that. It'll be as brilliant as it was before.
Yeah, exactly. We can't
qualify it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the doctors have recommended, haven't they?
So the doctors have said you've got to get on and do that because they're kind of worried about me because, to be honest, I couldn't have done anything. I have literally been 24 hours a day. You both know I've been researching everything. I've been talking to people all around the world. I've been trying to get the best care for Derek, which he has got. The NHS is extraordinary. The people working with him have been amazing. I mean, you know, the hours and the days and the, you know, that they're giving not just to Derek, to everybody is unbelievable. And it is their work. It's not a miracle, although we do thank you a little bit, God, that he's still here. But it's their brilliance. So they've been doing it, but I've been trying to do everything, trying to keep everything going. But and I've had incredible support from you guys and his family and my family. So, you know, but it's the practical support that we've not been able to do in lockdown, is it? So I've got to get going and I've got to come back and also, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm Mother Teresa or anything, but I kind of feel like everyone's having to do that. I'm not special or different. Everyone's having to get on with sadness and grief and loss from corona or from other things. So if I can come back, then we'll all be in the same boat. And we're emerging now.
How do the kids feel about you coming back to work?
Well, Darcy said, do I have to go to bed early as well? Just because you're going to bed early from now on. And I was like, well, you don't have to go to bed early, as early as me, but you can't, are not allowed to wake me. And so she immediately said, does that mean I can have a TV for my room? She's not stupid, is she? And I was like, no. You still don't get that.
And do you think that Derek would want you to come back as well?
Derek would not just be saying, come back. He would be saying, why haven't you done it before? I know he would. I know he would. He would. He would just be like, I mean, as he got into the ambulance, he said, go inside and make them feel safe to me, because they're going to be panicking about this, because we were standing there. And, you know, that would be his priority. And my job now is to make them feel safe and make them feel like they have a future and a world. And whatever happens with Derek, we hope and believe that he can come back to us. But, you know, whatever happens, they have to feel they have a world, you know, and to see me getting on, they're going to have to go to school in September, I think is a really important. People have been so kind and sent messages on social media, and I know...
And how important has that been to you?
It's been unbelievably important, because I think one of the things we've all felt, haven't we, in lockdown and with corona, is so isolated and so consumed by your own terror, that people have been so kind, sending messages of hope, of, you know, their loved ones. People have, you know, been sharing all sorts of things on my clubgarraway.com and saying, my husband has died and my father has died and I know what you're going through and the fear and you can do this. And it's just that lovely feeling when people are also in distress that they have the courage to reach out and share. And so I'm so grateful and, you know,
when you
hopefully...
think, Kate, about... Obviously, we know what the nightmare scenario is. But the miracle scenario, you
Yes.
must have thought about that too. When you think
Yes.
about that, where does your dream take you?
It's a strange thing, isn't it? It's a strange psychological thing, the uncertainty, because it's like you're standing on a precipice. And I've been trying to look at the horizon and not think about falling down. So the falling down would be the call to say, we don't think he's going to make it, or that you've lost him. And then, but you also don't dare to look up and think coming back, because it is extraordinary. You talked about 100 days, you know, it feels like a lifetime, but they still say it's too early. It's too early to know. He could be like this for a year. We hope we'll see improvements, but where that improvement can take us, we don't know. So I just keep thinking, look, there was a point where his lungs were solid. He was having blood taken out of one leg, oxygen put in it, put back in another. He had a ventilator with a tube. He had medicine keeping his heart going, medicine keeping his liver going. His kidneys were totally bypassed on dialysis. He doesn't need so much of that now. That in itself is a miracle, those things recovering. So the doctors keep saying, you know, we didn't think we could get him off this, and we have. Stay with that thought. Look where you've come from. Don't make huge plans. I do keep saying to him, we are going to go to the Maldives on FaceTime, because that's somewhere we wanted to go. But they say, maybe don't book a ticket. But, you know...
But keep talking
it's
about
lovely, positive thinking,
Yes.
but maybe don't hand over the cash just yet. Probably can't fly there anyway. But, you know, but try and see where we've come from and try and look to the future, because that's what we're all having to do as we come out, aren't we? And
Let's talk about your marriage for a moment, because you were very unlikely duo.
Curious.
Because I knew you both separately, but when I heard you were getting married, I was like, what?
Actually, no, let's get the quote right. Let's get the quote right.
The exact quote was...
It was actually on part of our wedding in the end. So we met, I think it was like some Press Gazette Awards, wasn't it? And you came in and you said, Derek, I won't swear, Draper, if I'd known your bar was set so low, I'd have had a crack myself.
Completely true.
And then Derek was there, and you were like, hi, Derek, hi.
He did, to be fair to Derek, he did.
He made Derek laugh.
He did laugh, and you put it on your wedding menu.
We put it on the wedding menu. If I'd known the bar was set, I'd have crap myself. I know.
But you were unlikely, you know, an unlikely pairing in many ways, coming from very different backgrounds, and yet when anyone saw you together, you were so perfectly matched. Just tell us about your marriage.
I think we were very curious, because I sort of think I'm completely apologetic, whereas Derek is loud and big, but actually we are incredibly similar, you know, in lots of ways. And he would say to people, it is extraordinary how similar we are, because I think for the first good 5 years, some of my friends were a little bit okay, and then got to know us, and we were so matched. And actually, irony, of course, is probably. We had more conversations where we sat together over Christmas and New Year thinking, we are so lucky. We are so lucky. We just like the same things. We want the same things. We just want to be here at home. We were always completely in tune over the children. He was brilliant with Darcy and Billy in a way that I wasn't. He was so good at allowing them to be cross, or, you know, and I'm always trying to calm everything down, and I've learnt so much from him about how to be with them, and we were so close, and it's just sort of, you know, you can't, I mean, you know, you can't...
He said to you, didn't he, before he went into the medically induced coma, he said, hey, you've saved my life. And you thought that the time that he might have meant because of the medical treatment. He said it both.
So he said he felt like he was suffocating. He couldn't breathe. And they were talking to him about whether it was good to go into a coma or not. And he was like saying, please get them to do it. I can't take this. I obviously wasn't going to get them to do anything that they didn't want to. And I said, I'm talking to them, I promise you. But they say it's best to stay awake. They rang and he said, thank you. I'm sorry I've got to leave you, but it will only be for 5 days, 3 to 5 days. But yeah, you saved my life. And I don't just mean now, but I mean in everything, with the children and the lives and everything.
You know, I just found a text while you were talking.
OK.
This was when you were in the jungle, and Derek and I were chatting.
Oh, my God.
About
Is this going to be broadcastable?
Yes.
OK.
He was so proud of you.
But you know what he said to me? He said, I said, Kate's going to win. I thought you were going to win. He should have won. But I said, either way, it's been fantastic because you were just coming over as the person we know. It is genuine, warm, decent,
funny,
nice
authentic, lovely,
and,
honest.
And he said, thanks, Piers. She's an amazing woman. I so much want her to be the number one for once. She deserves that so much. And I was very touched by that because what he meant was you're so selfless and you'd always put everybody else first, whether it was Derek or the kids or your work colleague. I mean, that's what you are. And he just wanted you to win so that you'd be number one.
I mean, yeah. Oh, I just hope we can get him back, Piers. I hope we can get him back.